Russia tonight is still massing troops on its border with Ukraine, despite pulling back some, as Secretary of State Antony Blinken promises to defend Ukraine from any Russian threat. He spoke exclusively with Andrea Mitchell in Ukraine.
U.S. officials say Russia still has nearly 80,000 troops on the Ukraine border, instead of withdrawing most of its forces by May 1st, as it claimed. Tonight, the Secretary of State on Russia's alarming show of force.
Will the U.S. defend Ukraine if Vladimir Putin invades?
So what we've seen, Andrea, is that there was a massive buildup of forces on the Ukrainian border. Some of those forces have pulled back, but significant forces remain. Some of the heavy equipment has been pulled back, but other heavy equipment remains, and they can turn that around fairly quickly.
Secretary Blinken is also warning Ukraine of a problem from within: rampant corruption.
Doesn't that show that Ukraine has not proved that it can reform?
Well, you know, Ukraine has aggression coming from outside, from Russia, but also inside in terms of corruption that potentially eats away at its democracy. Corruption is a tool that Russia uses to try to erode Ukrainian sovereignty from the inside.
And for the past year, the government's total failure dealing with the pandemic. With a population of 42 million people, only 419 are fully vaccinated. Now yielding to international pressure, the White House agreeing to support waiving vaccine patents so more nations can manufacture their own.
Critics say that this will affect supply chains and that we could face shortages ourselves back in the U.S.
If the virus is replicating anywhere, it could be mutating. And if it's mutating with a new variant, it could come back here and bite us even after people have been vaccinated. So we have to get ahead of that, and we have to get ahead of it around the world.
The biggest challenge for Ukraine is Russia. The Biden administration's commitment is to help Ukraine defend itself with weapons, but not to get involved militarily if Russia decides to cross that border. Lester?
Andrea Mitchell in Ukraine, thanks.